What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over my watch list for the trading week, the short trading week of April 11th, 2022. Let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing is some of the catalysts for this upcoming week. The first one is going to be the CPI data, which comes out on Tuesday before market, so that's April 12th. And the second one is a lot of major banks are going to be reporting earnings this week. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the earnings calendar. All right, so as you can see, not that many companies are reporting this week, but I will be keeping my eye on a lot of these major banks like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, and Morgan Stanley. Now, in addition to them, I will also be watching the entire chip sector because Taiwan Semiconductors, ticker symbol TSM, will be reporting pre-market on Thursday. So I'm expecting other chip makers to ride the momentum either up or down in anticipation to their earnings and whatever happens afterwards. Okay, now with that, let's go ahead and look at the plays for the week. All right, so first up is going to be Taiwan Semiconductors, ticker symbol TSM. Now here I have it pulled up on the daily chart. Now last time around, everybody thought that this one's going to blow their numbers out of the water, and in anticipation to that, it ran up and got as high as $145. But they had a slight miss and it sold off that day. They tried to hold it up the second day, but it didn't hold. As you can see, it's sold off since then and it hasn't recovered. So it's kind of hard to say what they're going to do this upcoming earnings, but in anticipation to that, these are the levels that I'm going to be watching. Okay, now if it can't hold 97.50 or so, I'm looking for it to come down and fill this weekly gap fill down to around 93.50 or so. If it can't hold that, I'm looking for it to come down and test this consolidation range right here around 83.50. Now, depending on what they do, the other semiconductors could follow suit. So keep your eye on this entire sector and let's see what happens. Up next is JP Morgan, ticker symbol JPM. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart. Now I will tell you, for the most part, banks have been moving kind of weird lately. And maybe it's because of inflation fears, CPI data anticipation, or maybe just because every time the Fed speaks, it either pops or drops. Now I will tell you that this stock moves around $3 a day, and the premiums on the options are kind of cheap. So if you have some patience, you can make some money with this stock. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart. Now the bullish scenario, JP Morgan comes out with good numbers and the market likes what it hears. I'm looking for it to come up and test around $144. Now if they come out with some shaky data and the market decides it wants to sell off, I'm looking for it to test this very important level around $127. You can see last time it got here, it popped and got all the way up to $172. Now if it tests this level and it can't hold it, I'm looking for it to test the 200-week moving average around $124.75. If it can't hold that, I'm looking for it to come down to around $118. All right, so keep JP Morgan and other banks on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, before we go to the last ticker, let's talk about CPI and CPI data real quick. Now, CPI stands for Consumer Price Index, and that's the measure of the average change over time in the prices paid by consumers for goods and services. So it's an indicator or a helpful indicator to show you how inflation is going. And it's one of the indicators that can help you determine what the cost of living is like. So if the CPI data says that everything is going up, then you know that inflation is on the rise, okay? Now with that, some of the things that goes within the measurement of the CPI data is the prices that people pay for food and beverages, housing, clothes, medical care, education, and other things like smoking, haircuts, and other personal expenses like funerals and stuff like that. All right, so this is just an indicator that shows how much people are paying and how much the prices rose or dropped within a given amount of time. Now the CPI data comes out monthly, and the one that's coming out for the month of March will be coming out on Tuesday, April 2nd. So let's see how the market reacts to that data, and we'll go from there. All right, and the last one we're going to be looking at is Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart, and the reason this one made my watch list is because Netflix has earnings on April 19th. Now, a lot of you may remember what happened last time they reported earnings. It went from around $525 down to $395 in a week. And it also created a gap that has not been completely filled yet. So there's a lot of money made and a lot of money lost this week right here. Now, with an anticipation to their earnings, I'm looking for more focus to be on Netflix in the next couple of weeks. But for right now, it's trading in a range between $395 and $334. Now, if the market is bearish this week, I'm looking for Netflix to come down and test around $334 and bounce back up. Now, if the market is bullish, I'm looking for it to come up to $395 or so and get rejected back down again. Okay, so keep Netflix on your watch list and let's see what happens. And that is the end of the video. If you found value, please smash that like button and consider subscribing. Here's wishing you a prosperous week of trading. And until next week, talk to you later.